about to experience something really big in just about 2 hours. I think the question on my mind, most people's minds out there, what is it like when you finally had your moment to go up in space? And what might surprise people out here, when you were up in space? Is there anything that surprised you all, and could you share that with us?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. So great to be here. So for me, I've wanted to be an astronaut since I was young. So I grew up looking at pictures of Earth from space. So when I finally got to go up and look down at the planet, from the picture, I saw the planet. It was brilliant, no borders. You see the thin blue line of the atmosphere. You see the matte black of space. But what the picture doesn't capture is the significance, the gravity of it all. No pun intended. That was hilarious. No pun intended. Yeah, but really, that is what it doesn't capture in a picture. And what was surprising to me looking down on the planet and just looking down at everything that I've ever known, every experience, every person, it made me feel extremely small, but it did not make me feel insignificant. And I came back to Earth feeling very empowered, reminding myself that what we do in space really starts with what we're doing here on Earth.
Check, check. We're going to keep going down the line. So my answer about what surprised me the most about space was how quickly the human body adapts to living and working in microgravity environment. When we go to space, we just sort of float. Everything floats around us, and it was surprising to me how quickly that could be normalized, and working and living in space was just like being here on Earth and doing the things that we do every day. So that was pretty impressive. Humans have a great ability to adapt to their surroundings.
Check, check. My first flight, what was it like to have that big day, sort of like today's big day? Actually, for me, everyone asks, were you afraid? Especially because our system was new and in test flight and, privately funded and didn't have all the gravitas of NASA. For me, the biggest anxiety was not getting all the data. I flew as an engineer and somehow letting down my team. So fortunately, flight went well and I got all the data. And then to Sirisha's point, I was amazed and had not really anticipated that for our vehicle, Virgin Galactic, we're suborbital. So we just head up and come straight back down. And for me, the time dilation at apogee was pure magic. I didn't expect to sort of feel as if time had stopped. But because we sort of slow down to a stop and then pick it back up and come back down through the atmosphere, the feeling of being unstrapped, completely weightless, not touching anything, in the middle of the ship, looking out all the windows, and coming to a stop and then seeing the majesty that Sirisha spoke about was unlike anything I had ever anticipated. And we are all so infinitesimally small, but so unbelievably important to this planet, which needs us all, especially Purdue engineering. That it was an amazing day.
So for me, the thing that I first felt when I got up there and I got to go ahead and see the Earth from orbit for the very first time, you go ahead and first reflect on the people that are most significant to you in your lives. And so for me at the time, it was my fiance, now my wife, and my family, who had waited all this time to see me, and it was such an emotional experience to go ahead and see that and to know that they were all there supporting me for all of these years. It really meant a lot. The other part, of course, is at this time there were 8 of us on orbit, so the entire human population except for 8 people are on the planet, and that was a pretty astounding thing to go ahead and comprehend. And to answer the question, what was the thing that kind of surprised me the most? That I got there. Which, I'd waited a long time to do that. And as I said, and I don't know about anybody else, it's like, okay, I got this. You can't take it away from me no matter what happens after this. So it was a really pretty cool thing.
The thing that was most surprising to me was the overwhelming sensory experience that it was, and from even the moment of ingressing the capsule on the launch tower, and the ignition of the engine, all of your senses just overwhelmed by, and is almost hard to process, and that goes all the way through zero-G, kind of experiencing this weightlessness for the first time, and then through reentry. I just remember thinking, take this all in. Like, really, try as hard as you can to be present in this moment and take all of this in. So I think to Drew's point too, that was, I wanted to keep that with me. I recognized how unique it was, and that my body was able to adapt to all of these things so quickly.